All right, the first sunshine of the day, and I'm on it, right here in the woods, ready to go. I'm reading a beautiful book right now called The Solace of Fierce Landscapes. And it's kind of a study about why spiritual people are drawn to deserts and mountains, or desert mountains, these harsh landscapes. And I've only read the first chapter so far, so I can't tell you too much more than that. But it's a delightfully well-written book. It's Christian-oriented, but it's mystical. So it's really part of the Vedantic tradition in that sense. He says, some teachers in the contemplative tradition echo the author of The Cloud of Unknowing in emphasizing the need to love God with a naked intent, completely apart from any of God's attributes or benefits. God is a desert to be entered and loved, never an object to be grasped or understood. In the end, we are no more able to possess God than we are able to possess ourselves. It is only as we abandon every effort to control God by experiencing God, relinquishing even the grasping self, always anxious to add the deity to its store of personal acquisitions, that the mystery of meeting God beyond experience ever becomes possible. So I like how this really personalizes this relationship with the divine, and at the same time reminds us that God is not a thing, that God's not a man in the sky, God's not a separate being, that God is this existence, this beingness itself, this love, this intelligence, this vessel in which all things are and beyond. And that this relationship that we have is a relationship of dissolution. It's entering into God and giving ourselves up, completely dissolving. You know, Ramakrishna talks about the salt doll, the doll made of salt that wants to measure how deep the ocean is. And so it jumps in and swims to the bottom, but the problem with swimming to the bottom of the ocean as a salt doll is you dissolve. And so that is knowing God. When this ego self is dissolved into that wholeness, then who is there to own who? Who is there to relate to what and to whom? This freedom then of this oneness is that spectacular, beyond experience of oneness. And I love that notion. Dive in. Walk into that desert and let it overtake you. Become a part of it by surrendering any idea of need or any idea of lack, any idea of hunger, and find that fullness. Find that fullness within.